Are you in college? Do you want to go to college? Spoiler alert, it's gonna be expensive. How is it going today, guys? My name is Apple, and today we're gonna be talking about college jobs. Now, even if you're living the most frugal college life possible, it's still gonna be pretty expensive, and you're gonna need a steady source of income in order to cover these expenses. Now, one way to do this is to get a JOB, and that's what we're gonna be focusing on in this video. However, I will be releasing a future video on different ways of making money in college that are not based on getting a job. So when considering a college job, I think there are 6 main criteria that you're going to want to prioritize. These 6 criteria are the experience that you're going to be getting from this job and how that translates into future employment or future opportunities, the length of the shift. This one's important because some people prefer to have longer shifts and less frequent, and some people prefer short, frequent shifts. The next one is the time of day of the shift. So this one's important because of like your schedule, when you have time in your day, and just when you prefer to be at work. The next one is how much money you're going to be making at this job. Now this one's pretty important, but it's definitely not the end-all be-all. Following that is the enjoyability of a job. So you want to do something that you're at least not hating. It doesn't have to be your favorite thing in the world. In fact, it probably won't be. But you don't want it to be something that you absolutely dread, because that's just going to make it not a great way for you to spend your time. And the last criteria is location. So there are like on-campus jobs, there are off-campus jobs, and this is going to be a pretty significant factor in determining what job you want in college. All right, so let's hop right into my 8 favorite college jobs and the perks and the downsides to each. And we're going to use our handy dandy Venn diagram right here to sort of show these benefits and downsides. So the first job on the list is a barista, and that's going to fall somewhere around right here. So the length of shift is going to be pretty variable from place to place. Generally, they'll probably be about 4 to 8 hours long. Probably around 6 hours is going to be the average there. And this job is probably usually going to be a morning thing. Not too many coffee shops are going to be open at night. So if you prefer to have your nights free, then this could be a good one for you. The pay is pretty decent. According to wagefinder.com, it's about $11 an hour with tips for a barista. So, I mean, that's a fair bit above minimum wage, at least where I'm at. In terms of location, it's probably not going to be on campus. If it is an on-campus coffee shop, it's probably going to be less money and probably fewer tips as well. In terms of enjoyability, it's generally a pretty well-enjoyed job. The people who tend to be baristas are people who tend to enjoy it, but then again, it's not for everybody. And in terms of experience, it's not going to provide you with much experience for the future. All right, next we've got a restaurant job. So this could be like a server, a host, a bartender, and this one's probably going to fall somewhere over here. So it's got better pay depending on the location of the restaurant. If it's off campus, the tips are again going to be higher, but it's going to be less convenient to get there. The shifts are probably going to be a little longer in duration, just because restaurants like to have longer shifts and less staff coming in. The time of shift is going to be probably the opposite of a barista, so this is going to be a nighttime gig. Most restaurants are not in need of lots of staff during the day, just because that's not when people are going out to eat. In terms of experience, could be useful for the future if you want to work in more high-scale restaurants, but usually not so much. All right, next one we're going to do is intern. So this is very beneficial if you want experience in a work environment and if you need something to put on your resume. So that's going to be up here. In terms of time of day, it's usually going to be midday, which could be inconvenient if you have class. Length of shift, again, this is going to be longer shifts. You're working in a professional environment, so they're going to have you there during professional shifts. The location is most likely going to be off campus if you're working at a company. And money could be an unpaid internship, could be a paid internship. So a little bit of variability, but usually not great. Unless you've been with this company for a little while and they sort of like move you up the ranks. And in terms of enjoyability, it really depends on what you're doing. Some internships are terrible, but some people are really into it and they have a really good time. Next one we got is retail, and that's going to fall over here, sort of in the sweet spot between the length of the shift and the time of day of the shift. Retail is usually pretty flexible in when they'll have you, probably weekends, but could be really any time during the day. Whenever is best for you is usually fine because they're usually pretty busy. In terms of enjoyability, probably not so much. In terms of money, about $10 an hour is the average. So that's not ideal, but above minimum wage still, so. And then in terms of experience, probably not going to give you much relevant real world experience. But it is something to put on a resume. All right, here comes the next one. It is an on-campus job. So this could be anything from working in the dining halls to being like a custodian, being a building manager, really just anything that you're working through your school. So this one's gonna fall right over here. So what you've got going for you with this job is location, and the length of the shift, and also the time of day of the shift. With an on-campus job, you're probably going to have shorter shifts, but they're going to be close to where you live, so that's going to be convenient. Not going to be too far out of the way for you to get to work. And in terms of enjoyability, it's probably not going to be the most fun thing in the world, but you will probably meet people, and you can make the best out of it. And really just the supply and demand of these on-campus jobs just drives the wages way down. I mean, there's so many people that just find it so convenient to work on campus that they can get away with paying people minimum wage, and people are still going to work there. Next one we've got is a desk job. Now, this is like a receptionist or just any job where you get to sit behind a desk and not really worry about too much, just sort of like answer a phone once in a while. Pretty low stakes, and you get a lot of free time, so it's nice for like doing homework and stuff. And that one's gonna fall right down here. So the location's probably gonna be good, probably gonna be on campus, probably not gonna be too enjoyable, not too much relevant work experience. Pay, probably pretty low. The average is about $9 an hour or minimum wage, depending on where you're at. And length of shift, probably pretty short, which could be nice. It's also on campus. And time of day, also pretty flexible, probably during the day whenever you're not in class, so that can also be a nice way to fit into your schedule and not take up your nights and weekends. Next one on the list is a tutor. So being a tutor is a pretty sweet gig, to be honest. The average wage is about $15 an hour, which is one of the higher paying jobs on the list. And so this is convenient because it's A, on campus, B, good money, C, when you're not tutoring somebody, you can be doing your own homework and it's pretty low stakes. And D, when you are tutoring somebody, you're getting more confident in your own abilities in that subject. So you're really just like taking yourself to the next level while you're helping people, while you're getting paid. So like kind of a win-win all around. And really just main downside is the shifts probably won't be very long, but you're getting that high hourly wage, so it's gonna work out for you either way. And the last one, which might be my favorite, I might be a little biased towards this one, is being a delivery driver. And I'm not talking about being a delivery driver for the local pizza shop. I'm talking about delivery driving as an independent contractor, which basically means you can make your own hours, you can work when you want, you can do what you want, and it's very low stakes. So there's a bunch of companies that you can work for and do this. Some of the ones I know off the top of my head are like Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash, Bite Squad. And with these companies, you basically just download an app on your phone, flip it on when you want to work, and you're good to go. Like, there's no schedule or anything. You can just work when you want. Now, the downsides to this job are, the main one is you need a car and you're gonna have to pay for gas and insurance and stuff like that. But if you've already got a car and you're already paying for insurance, the gas cost can be pretty negligible and the wages are pretty good, so that's gonna pay for itself. So this one would be located sort of over here. So you've got the length of shift can be whatever you want it to be, so that works out. The time of day can be whenever you want it to be as well. Not too much relevant work experience. The pay can be pretty good. I've had times working as a delivery driver where I'm making upwards of $25 an hour. But then there's also times when you're making like $10 an hour when it's slow out. So it really just depends. You sort of learn when the good times are. And the location is also good because it's just wherever you are. Alright guys, so we got a question of the day. And today I am wondering, what is your dream part-time job? So go ahead and drop that in the comments. And if it's the most interesting, creative, or funny, might be featured on the next video. So that's it for the video, guys. Just wanted to give you guys a rundown of the 8 top part-time jobs that I see as a college student and the ups and downs to each of them. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was beneficial. I hope you now have a better idea of what kind of job you want as a college student in order to pay for that education you're getting. If this was helpful at all, please leave a like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about what your dream part-time job would be or any other questions you have. And don't forget to check out our Twitter. This is new, and I'm going to be posting money tips and just definitions of money terms that you should know as an adult. So that's going to be over at, check it out. And until next time.